Hey, music lovers, welcome and thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video. I thought it'd be a great time to get outside and enjoy the day. I mean, this is such a beautiful day. I don't have to fight the extreme heat, the extreme cold, darkness, bugs just screaming in my ear, all that mess. So hopefully we'll have a good experience out here. I wanted to dig into this new song by DeYoung called Proof of Heaven, which just came out recently. It's going to appear on his next solo album, which has been a long time in the making. It's going to be out sometime in the last half of the year, and it's also appearing on an album called Winds of Change by Jim Peterik, who is the guy that Dennis co-wrote these songs with. Now, who is Jim Peterik? Jim Peterik is a founding member of the band Survivor, and he also co-wrote all their big hits like Eye of the Tiger, The Search Is Over, Is This Love, Burning Heart, and there's others too. He also co-wrote stuff for 38 Special like Caught Up in You, Hold On Loosely, Rockin Into The Night, Fantasy Girl. That's all Jim. And of course, between Jim and Dennis, they have like a little 80s jukebox going on here. So they've actually written with each other before. Jim has this album called World Stage where he collaborates with these other artists. And his last album came out in 2000. And he collaborated with Dennis then too. And he's doing it again on this new album, Winds of Change, just came out. He's got collaborations with Kevin Cronin of REO Speedwagon, Mike Reno of Loverboy, Keagy from Night Ranger, and of course, this new tune, Proof of Heaven, that he did with Dennis. So a lot of people are talking about this song. They say it sounds like Styx, and I can definitely hear why. I mean, it definitely has Dennis's fingerprints all over it. I mean, you can tell by the chorus and the vocal melodies and everything that it's definitely very Styx-like. And so I wanted to kind of run through this song and talk about it. I thought I would kind of run through the lyrics, and as I'm running through the lyrics, I'll touch on the music, I'll touch on the video, which is a whole nother story. So I'm just going to kind of encapsulate everything and kind of build it around the lyrics. And the lyrics for this particular tune seem to be built around this concept of, is there more to life than this? Is there an afterlife? That seems to be what Dennis is getting at, is, this world is so screwed up. Is there anything more? And we kind of hope that there is, and we kind of look for clues. And then it kind of wraps up by saying that really we should have hope, that the hope is within us, and that's what can keep us going. That's the kind of general gist that I get. Overall, this song reminds me of Come Sail Away, Pieces of Eight, which is, of course, the title track from that album, and then Show Me the Way. I think lyrically, it's like Show Me the Way. Musically, it resembles Come Sail Away, and some of the vocal melodies and harmonies remind me of Pieces of Eight. So I'm going to dig into that here. Okay, so looking at the lyrics, it starts off, Dennis is saying, please explain the mystery they call the afterlife. Because I keep on hoping. I keep on hoping. So you can see that he's kind of hoping that there is a heaven, that there is more. And then he talks about how, we search for proof of heaven, we seek the sacred light, and we kneel with saints and sinners. And so he's kind of taking this terminology, saints and sinners, sacred light, and there's other instances where he talks about like guardian angels and saving grace. He's kind of throwing these terms out, these like religious terms. And I remember I've heard this before. And so then I remembered, Show Me the Way. Remember that song from 1990, Styx, their last really big hit? That song starts off with, every night I say a prayer in the hope that there's a heaven. Okay, but every day I'm more confused as the saints turn into sinners. Okay, so we got the saints and sinners hoping that there's a heaven. Clearly, these two songs are linked. I think that if Show Me the Way is looking for guidance, then Proof of Heaven finds it. I think that in Show Me the Way, he's clearly lost his faith, lost his direction, looking for something. And I think Proof of Heaven, he's basically saying the same kind of thing, that we're always looking, but he ends it a little bit more positive now. He says, that it's within us. So, and I'll get to that in just a little bit. Getting back to Proof of Heaven, this song here, like I said, it features some terminology that's kind of thrown out, like guardian angels, saving grace, I swear by all that's holy, saints and sinners. There's certain words that are used in this song, and I guess the way that the song has such a grand nature to it, bombast, I guess you may want to say, which is common with Styx and Dennis, that it kind of almost comes across more like a Christian rock kind of a song. And that really doesn't, I'm really not a Christian rock. I mean, I'm not a Christian rock fan at all. Can't stand it. And it's not that it's Christian, because believe me, if there was a Hindu rock or a Buddhist rock, I can promise you I wouldn't like it any better. It really isn't so much to do with the music or anything. It has to do with the lyrics. I think a lot of times these Christian rock songs are just padded with these, very common phrases and terms that I think these writers use as a crutch because they know that it will hit people when you say certain words and everything. So I'm not crazy about the Christian rock that hits you over the head with these really strong terms and these really strong words. This song doesn't get too specific. Like if you were reading the lyrics, you would not know that it was, like you wouldn't say, oh, that's a Christian song or that's this or that kind of denomination. It's very generic. And so it has more of a wider appeal. I get that. But to me, it just kind of comes off as having a bit more of a Christian rock kind of a feel. So I'm not really feeling it there. And so we get to this part of the song, the middle section. There's already been, by the time we get to the middle section where everything kind of calms down a bit, we've already had a glimpse of Come Sail Away. There was a breakdown that sounds very, very much like it about a minute and a half in. Now we get to this keyboard section during the middle, which sounds like Come Sail Away. It kind of reminds, except this song has got some vocal stuff going on. They start saying stuff like chin chin, which is, I think it's Chinese for heaven or for paradise. And so Dennis has gone from speaking Japanese and Mr. Roboto, and now he's speaking Chinese, but that's all right. Some interesting little vocal thing going there, and then we come into this three-part harmony between Dennis and August Zadra, his guitar player, and Jim Peterik. And so there's this three-part vocal harmony that actually is very, very nice. And what I like about this song are the melodies. The melodies in the verse and the melody in the vocal stuff that's going on are very, very nice. The lyrics don't really grab me. They don't really speak to me, but I like the melodies. They're very, very Styx-like. And so I'm connecting with the song on the melody level. And so after that section is over, then we get into the last section, which is pretty much just a recap of where we've been. And as the song is kind of fading out or kind of getting into its final seconds, we can hear this vocal from August Zadra that kind of sounds like Tommy Shaw kind of sweeping in and putting some vocals. It sounds very much like Tommy. This song has a very Styx-like feel. I don't think that it would make a very good Styx song. And I know that some people think that this, could have been a Styx song, but I think it misses Tommy. I think that Dennis is best when he's got the other guys working with him because of what they bring in. And I know that Dennis he kind of comes across as like the more dominant force because he's been the producer of the Styx albums and he's the one that kind of shapes everything and helps to shape the stuff that Tommy and JY bring in. But, not having them there, you don't really get anything really musically that interesting here. That's the problem that I've got, is that I'm not hearing any interesting guitar parts. There's no interesting keyboards. There's no interesting drums. It's kind of generic, like in the music space. There's just nothing there that's really grabbing me. Certainly not the video. The video is very, very cheesy. As a matter of fact, I would encourage you to listen to the song first if you have never heard it before. If you're going to go check it out after you watch this, listen to it first. Don't watch the video. The video could seriously ruin it for you. It just comes across as just kind of cheesy. I mean, Jim Peterik really, you know, the guy, I don't know how old he is exactly. I have to look it up, but he's probably around 70 or so, but he's got like purple hair, this big purple hair, obvious wig. You know, now there's a wig, all right? Some people think that I have a wig. I don't have a wig. Peterik, he's got a rug, okay? No question about it. At times, he just looks like a Muppet, like it looks like Dennis is singing with the Muppet. And I don't know, it just doesn't, it kind of comes across as just a bit cheesy. So not feeling the video. And so as we get to the end of the song, Dennis kind of wraps it up by saying that we'll find that our salvation is always found within. So there's that hope that he's talking about, that there is a heaven, that there is more to life, is something that you always have. That hope is what keeps you going, keeps you from feeling lost. That's what he's singing about. And I can certainly understand why a lot of people would love this song lyrically, why it would connect. This song just doesn't connect to me. These are not things that I think about. You know, me personally, I don't think about the afterlife or about heaven or hang my hopes that there's going to be a heaven or all this stuff. I'm very much, when it comes to religion, when it comes to things like God and heaven, there's a lot of stuff that I just don't know, you know, that I don't propose to know. I don't say, yes, I know exactly this is going to happen after I die or after this or that, you know. What's interesting about this song is that Dennis has not started playing it live yet, because he's on tour now, and he's going to be on tour throughout the rest of the year. And, you know, maybe he'll start playing some stuff. Maybe he'll start playing this as it gets closer to his album coming out. He doesn't want to wear it out so that when the album comes out, everybody's sick of hearing it. So, but you know what? Before I let you go here, you know, yeah, this is not my favorite Dennis DeYoung song, but I wanted to let you know my top 5 Dennis songs. These are the best songs that I think Dennis has ever written. Just want to run through them real quick. I'm curious to know what you guys think about the best songs that Dennis has ever written. Okay, number 5 on the list is going to be Babe. Now, I know that some of you are probably thinking, what the hell, Babe? That sucks. That's a ballad. But, you know, when you think about what went into that song and how it turned out and the success that it had, it's pretty amazing. You know, I don't know how Dennis would not want to put that on a resume. You know what I mean? Babe was a song that he wrote for his wife. He didn't write it for Styx. It was not supposed to be a Styx song. He wrote it, he demoed it with Chuck and John Panazzo because Tommy and JY were not around. And it was just going to be this little demo. He gave it to his wife as part of her birthday party. It was played at her birthday party, and everybody's jaws dropped. They were like, wow, you know. And so the record company heard it, the band heard it, and what wound up happening was they didn't want to touch the demo because it sounded so good. They just put Tommy's guitar solo on it, and what you hear is Dennis's demo with Tommy's solo on it. Everything else is him. The vocals are all him, the background vocals, everything. So that's pretty amazing when you can just whip out a quick little demo. It becomes a #1 hit. You know, that says something. So I think that's one of his best songs. Lady is number 4. That's a great song. That's a song that Dennis wrote. It was on the second Styx album, I think it was, in 1973. Nobody gave a shit. If you want to hear Dennis's worst songs, go check out the first 4 Styx albums. So it wasn't until 1975 when a DJ decided to play Lady. I think he had heard it in like a jukebox or something and decided that he wanted to play it on his radio show. The song blew up, and from then on, Dennis kind of knew in his gut what to do. Like something flipped inside of him, and his confidence got higher. And so that's when they came out, the next album, Equinox, you know, Crystal Ball, these albums, then they started to hit it, you know, with the real classic stuff, the stuff that they're playing live now. You know, they don't play anything from the Wooden Nickel days, those early days. So Lady was a huge hit. Lady is the reason why we're even talking about Styx now. And so definitely one of Dennis's best. Number 3 on the list is going to be The Grand Illusion. That's a great song. I mean, that's definitely a Styx classic from that album, The Grand Illusion. And it's he basically comes right out and pulls the, you know, curtain away so you can see the Wizard of Oz. You know, he's basically telling everybody this is all bullshit. This whole thing about fame and fortune and, you know, you guys looking up to us, you know, we're just like you. and don't be fooled by the whole superstar thing, and so that was, I think, a really good song. I love the whole wordplay and everything. That's a very well written song. Number 2 is going to be Best of Times from the Paradise Theater album. Best of Times, very well written song. And, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Proof of Heaven, some of the things that he kind of touches on about how the world is kind of going to shit, I think Best of Times was a very well-written tune, when he talks about how people, like lock their doors and stay inside, and it's the end of paradise. I just like the words. Very, very strong song. And the whole melody is great. Styx doesn't play it live. I don't know why they don't touch the song. They think it's a ballad that they shouldn't be playing. They're just crazy. That's a great song. They should be playing it every night. And the number 1 song from Dennis, I think, is definitely going to be Come Sail Away. That's his masterpiece. I always thought that Come Sail Away, with its 6 minutes plus or whatever it is, was kind of like their Bohemian Rhapsody. Every band has got their epic, Stairway to Heaven, Lynyrd Skynyrd's got their Freebird. So you know what I mean? Certain bands have like their epics, and I think that Come Sail Away is the Styx epic, and I think the high watermark for Dennis. Anyway, so let me know what you think about my top 5 Dennis picks, and also what do you think about his new tune, Proof of Heaven, that he did with Jim Peterik. Be sure to drop it down below. Give this video a thumbs up. If you liked it, hit that subscribe button too. Let me know if you think if him and Styx will ever reconcile and do anything. I highly doubt it. They often say that being in a band is like being in a marriage. And of course, there's the divorce that can happen. And I think in this band, they had a divorce. And while Dennis would get back with Tommy and JY, they don't see it the same. They'd rather just go their own way. They've been their own way for 20 years. I think they've grown apart. I don't think that musically they can write the way they used to. I think it's possible that they could do it, but I don't think Tommy and JY want to go down that road again for whatever reason. It just doesn't make them happy. And I've never had a problem with that, because that can happen. People can grow apart. That's fine. I didn't like how they stole the band from Dennis. Oh, you're sick? You can't tour? Well, we're just going to, put somebody else in your place, and we're going to take the band and we're going to run with it. And for the past 20 or so years, that's what they've been doing. They haven't talked to Dennis. And so I think that's pretty shitty. And so that's where I stand on that. Let me know what you think. And I've got more videos coming. I'll see you soon, all right? Take care.